from the frat house. Time for the week 1 update for One Book July. Little fun fact for you. This is not the first time I have recorded this intro. This is probably the 4th time I have recorded this. Okay, first of all, I have been so sick. I've already edited the rest of the video. It's fine, so I've seen that. But when you're watching it, it is a little bit stilted for 2 reasons. I keep losing my train of thought. I'm on the upswing now. At least I'm cautiously optimistic that this is the upswing. I felt a little bit better day before yesterday, and then got up yesterday morning and felt twice as bad as I had to begin with. So, but on the upswing now, I think. But after watching what will be the body of this, it is a little bit stilted. But I am losing light, and the house is full and loud, and I will not get to even try to re-record this till tomorrow, and I really want to get it posted. A second fun little fact, I got new glasses. Part of my being sick has been that I cannot wear my contacts right now. So I'm very blind, like not far from legally blind, and I'm not even exaggerating. So these are very thick, and I feel as if I'm in a fishbowl. So bear with me. Third little fun fact, the reason this is the 4th time I've recorded this intro is I finally got it all recorded, despite Liam splashing around in the kiddie pool and yelling, and went to edit it and realized that I had a piece of lettuce in my teeth. And I just couldn't post it. I couldn't. I had, kind of made myself inhale a little bit of a salad for lunch, and guys, I put lip gloss on. I looked at myself in the mirror before I started recording. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. I had a little piece of lettuce in my teeth. I could not subject you guys to that. So, I'm gonna try this one more time. So if there's anything in the video that is not clear, you guys don't hesitate to shoot me a message and let me know. I mean, it makes sense to me, the body of the video, because I'm the one who recorded it, and it is my sick brain we're dealing with. But some of it is a little bit stilted just because I kind of keep losing my train of thought here and there. But if I re-record it, it's going to be another day or 2 before it gets posted, and I don't want to do that either. So I want to try to stay as close to on schedule as possible. In case you guys hadn't seen it, my initial setup was posted last week, or even the week before that. I had told you guys that I would decide what I was going to do about my pen. I did decide to go with the Coletto. This is a white Pilot High-Tech C Coletto Lumio. It's a 4-color barrel. And as you'll see, there is a brown and a pink in there. I left those in there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I may have 2 more of these, but at the time I could only find 2. I went with the blue black ink. It's like my favorite go-to all-purpose kind of ink color. And I could only find 2 inserts, so I left the brown and the pink in there just kind of as placeholders. If you leave those barrels empty, the pen doesn't quite function properly, and I didn't want to ruin it because this is by far like my favorite pen. I love the way it feels. I love the color. Even though it doesn't have a grip, for the longest time I had to have a grip on my pen, but this has just a teensy bit of grip to it on its own. So I've left the brown and the pink in there alone. I did go to start using it, the brown, I think I filled in 2 dots of brown, not even thinking, on my yearly chart. If you guys hadn't seen that, I posted a video about my yearly chart a couple weeks ago, the chart from DIY Fish, and I do color code that. So I realized what I was doing. I think I put maybe 1 or 2 dots of brown on it and thought, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be using the brown, which is not a big deal. I usually fill that in during my weekly review. So while I'm setting up the upcoming week and kind of going back through the prior week, that's when I tend to fill that in. So I'm just not going to fill in my yearly chart until the end of the month, which is perfectly fine. That's not a big deal. So that's what the pink and the brown are in there for. I may have 1 or 2 more of the blue-black refills in my desk, but I hate to have 4 of them open. You know how like the tip is covered on them to keep them from drying out. I'm afraid that if I go ahead and open those and put them in here, I'm never going to burn through them all. However, I'm going through enough ink. I've been kind of doodling here and there on top of just the regular scheduling stuff. I may burn through enough ink that I may need them. So I don't know. I may trade those out and just make this all 4 colors, the blue-black. I don't know, we'll see. But I am just using the blue and the black. And you guys will see also, I took a book out of the back. I had a grid paper, which I'll show you in the body of the video, the insert that I'm using for my projects and my lists and my kind of planning and journaling and doodling and whatnot are grid inserts, personal size from Chic Sparrow, and I had a third same insert in there that I was going to use to write. And like I said, summer break, something just happens. I just tend to write more. I don't know if it's me kind of working through, it's a real chaotic shift for us with everybody being home all the time. I'm not sure if that's why, but it tends to happen to me every summer, and I've been in a real rut like the last roughly 3 to 4 weeks, just a real rut. And Grace, hi Grace, Grace and I were chatting on Facebook Messenger the other day, and she said, you know, I wondered if you were sick, if you were getting sick when you said you had been in such a rut. And I thought, oh my goodness, this has happened to me one other time. I got in a huge rut and couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I ended up really sick. Duh. So I don't know if I'm getting sick because I'm in the rut, or if the rut is my brain going, hey, you're getting sick. I don't know which it is, but it's worked that way more than once. So this last week I didn't do a whole lot of writing just because I've had no brain. I have been sick for, I don't even know, this is the 5th or 6th day running now. But got some stuff taken care of today, so I think I might be on the upswing. So I would say I was gonna flip the camera around, but I already did that. I recorded that earlier. So I'll show you guys what's been going on in here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bear with me as I'm getting better. I have a really hard time finding time to answer everybody's questions and whatnot anyway. I'm still working with like a third of a brain at this point. So if it takes me even longer than usual, that is why. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, and I talk about it in the body of the video a little bit, but I'm going to ask for all you guys' input. I had wanted, I don't know if it's because I'm missing having the color on my daily pages, or if it's just a product of wanting to do something a little different creatively, because I go through streaks of like watercoloring and then I don't do it for a while and then I do it again, and I'm kind of itching to do it again. I didn't want to do it on grid paper. I did order some blank inserts from Chic Sparrow in personal size and pocket size, and I know it takes watercolor pretty well. So I was thinking about putting a blank insert in the back there, because I can write in that, but then I'm not watercoloring on grid paper. That's just me. There's nothing wrong with watercoloring on grid paper. But I don't know if that's breaking the rules or not. So I wanted to ask all of you guys' input. I did take a book out, so it would be kind of exchanging the one book for the other. So I don't know. What do you guys think? And the last thing I wanted to tell you is you guys' initial videos and your week 1 updates have been fantastic. I've had such a good time seeing what everybody's learning and the different things that people are trying and different ways that people are taking the same challenge. And that's part of why Vicky and Romany and I started kind of discussing doing videos together. Was after doing One Book July together last year, we realized that there are some things that we do very similarly, and there are some things that we do very differently, but with a similar outcome, if that makes any sense. We tend to kind of approach things 3 different ways, but a lot of times with the same result, which I am really fascinated by that. So like for me, I know my system works. There is no way with this many kids and this much stuff going on that I won't lose people if I don't have a weekly calendar. I know that I will not get everything done that needs to be done in the week if I don't have like a weekly list, and that's what my weekly chart is. It's just a list of stuff that has to get done sometime this week. It's not necessarily time sensitive to a particular day. Some of it is, but a lot of it is just this week, this is the stuff I want done. If I don't have that stuff, my whole system falls apart, and I know that. I have been using planners literally for almost 30 years, so I'm old. I'm set in my ways. I could not make myself break my system. That is why I left all those blank pages, like I showed you in my initial setup video, in between my weekly list, my weekly calendar, or weekly schedule, and then I just left like 5 spreads of pages so that maybe one week I'll do them one way and the following week I'll do them the other way. But I still have the weeks for the month laid out. Aside from the stuff that's set in stone, like when Hunter has band and Clayton has Key Club, there is not room for this many people's stuff on my monthly calendars. I've tried it, it becomes a holy mess really fast. So having those weekly calendars is really important. But I have learned that I really like having those blank spreads. I'm doodling more, printing things out and saving it, and having them within that chunk of weekly spreads keeps them, and I talk about this in the body of the video, it keeps those things more within my field of attention or within my focus. Rather than me taking, oh, I found a bunch of quotes I really like, I'd like to write something for What's Your Why Not about those, I'll stick them in a separate book and put it back in my desk, and then I'll forget about them. So instead, I've written them in here on one of the blank spreads for this last week, and I tabbed it with one of my page flags. It's there. Every time I open my book, I see that little page flag. It's not in my head. It's not floating around up there. I've got it written down. I know where it is, but it's not disappeared from my attention span either. So that is my one big thing that I have learned. I haven't really been doing a whole lot with like different symbols and whatnot. I am kind of missing the color coding. It takes me, just because like I said before, my brain just tends to color code. I have always been like that. I was so tickled to hear several of you say the same thing. For as long as I can remember, being a very, very small child, my mind has just always assigned colors to things, tasks, people, numbers. If you ask me, numbers are different colors. I have no idea why. Letters, not so much, but numbers, they are. I've never really looked into it. I'm sure there's some, explanation for it somewhere, some psychologist. I can't be the only one. But several of you said, yep, my brain's the same way, which made me feel really good. So I'm finding that when I know there's something specific that I've written down that I need to like double check real quick, it's taking me a little bit longer to find it than I normally would because I'm not color coding. I have to actually look. The downside for my brain, this is just me, in having to sift through everything I've written to find that one specific thing is, depending on what's going on and depending on the day, it's a lot to sift through, especially when I have people talking at me. Hey mom, hey mom, hey mom. So that's the biggest way I've missed the color coding. I will admit, I like the way my weekly pages look at the end of the week. I like to see all the colors. It's like it's pretty without me having to decorate it. Just pretty to me, at least. There's a mosquito trying to dive bomb me. Sorry, guys. But it does take me just an eensy bit longer to find things because I haven't color coded it. So I think I need to make a little more prodigious use of my page flags. When I write something down that I'm pretty darn sure I'm going to have to refer back to, I just need to put a page flag on there for the specific person it pertains to or the specific thing it pertains to. Be able to find them a lot quicker that way. So I'm going to show you guys the body of this video now. I'm hoping I double checked before I started recording to make sure I didn't have anything in my teeth this time. But you guys let us know how it's going. Keep it up. You're doing a great job. The Facebook page has kind of been hopping, and that's been good to see. Tons of videos to watch, which, man, you guys, when I don't feel well, YouTube is like the best thing ever. So you guys have given me ideas. You've made me giggle. It's been real interesting to see how different people have taken this challenge and said, okay, like in my case, my system works. I cannot mess with my system. I know better than to mess with my system. However, I want all this stuff that I want to do in one booklet to carry with me. So that has been my challenge, is allowing myself those blank pages and not like I have to fight this urge to make them into a page per day. I don't need a page per day right now, but that's just how my brain is. My brain likes to, kind of categorize everything, and I need to let that go a little bit. When I let that go a little bit, I alleviate a lot of stress on myself. So that's been my big thing, is get it all in one book and keep it in one book. So we'll see if I'm really itching to do some watercolors, if that seems to be within the challenge, because I'm not adding a fourth insert. I took the third one out and I'd be putting a blank one in. I don't know. I don't want to cheat. So you guys let me know what you think and let us all know how you're doing, and make sure you hashtag everything OneBookJuly 2015 so we can find you. Okay? Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, I don't know what's up with the tripod, but every time Liam runs a lap around the table, it drops the camera facing too far that way. Oh, I'm going to try to be quick so that it doesn't keep happening. Hey, you're getting me all wet, you punk. Okay, so here's what's going on. Like I said, I'm using this for everything, including my wallet. So driver's license is in here, debit cards are in here, eyeglass prescription, hence the new eyeglasses on my face, and what else is in here? Stickers, page flags, transparent Post-its, stickers from the Reset Girl, a Pokemon thing for Hunter that I need to give to him. Okay, so that's all pretty much the same. I did put in here, I had said in my last, my initial setup for One Book July, that I was thinking about putting my passport size zipper pocket in here from Midori. I stuck it in here for about an hour, and it really was not necessary, and it was too much. I've got enough pockets up here. And then this folder is a personal size Midori folder from Annika Hanby on Etsy.
best folders ever, you guys, seriously. So I was tickled to see that she started making the personal size. I had asked her about it a few weeks ago, and she said, you know, gosh, a lot of people are asking for that size lately. So I'm like, I'm sorry, oh, but I'm asking too, if you happen to make any. So when she, okay, I think I'm seriously gonna have to keep one hand on the camera because he's discovered that he can stomp, and when he stomps, everything just goes wonky. So, so I got this, and I also got one in a pocket size of the same exact folder from Annika. So because I have the pockets in the notebook, the pockets in the folder, I've got a pocket back there. I didn't need the zipper pocket. I thought maybe for cash, not that I carry cash on me a whole lot, but you know, it's summer, the kids are home. A lot of times they're, you know, hey, you know, we're gonna go do this, you know, could we have 10 bucks? Or, you know, so I do tend to keep more cash on me in the summer, but I have enough pockets at this point. Now, honestly, I did put some cash in this long pocket back here. I just tucked it right in there, worked fine. I also can tuck it right up into the top of the personal size folder, and that works fine as well. So I've stuck some ATM receipts, my grocery list, check I need to deposit. Just like in my pocket size, this is kind of helping serve as wallet stuff. Okay, and then this was just, I showed you guys before, a Project Life card that I put some of my page flags on. These I have been using, kind of rotating ones that I had already written on with the Sharpie. Since I'm only using this pen, it doesn't write on here, but I had some filled out that the kids have repetitive stuff like every week. You know, Hunter has band 2 days 1 week and then 2 different days the following week, so I just keep moving those tape flags for him. So so those I had already written on, but these I'll show you. I used a couple back here this last week. And then my monthly calendar from Marsha Bermucci, that looks exactly the same. I haven't really had to add anything on there thus far this month. There's some more post-its, just the back of that other Project Life card. Here's where a lot of the changes happened for me. I usually do a monthly calendar, which I have. I'm afraid to let go of the camera with my other hand, you guys. Nope, that's my yearly, haha. So there's the monthly calendar where if any changes happen, that's where I'll make them. The other monthly calendars are for the year. That's more forward planning. I added this, I loved this. So I printed that out and added it. I found that on Pinterest. I don't get on Pinterest a whole lot, and then when I do, I get sucked in, which is why I don't get on it a whole lot. Here goes Liam doing another lap. So here is what this last week looked like as far as the bullet journaling went. Pretty much the same as I've been doing it for the last, I don't know, month or 6 weeks, except for I didn't go down to a day per page like I usually do. In the pocket size, I almost always come up with, you know, using up a day per page, but not always. And this, like I said, I've been sick. I got so much in here that I did and I haven't marked off. Oh my goodness, my brain. So that was my big change, was no daily pages. And like I said, I have a system that I know that works. I need a list of the stuff that I need to get done. Chart just basically served as my list. This is stuff that has to be done at some point this week. It may not be time sensitive except for this week. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try to get him to stop. Okay, we're gonna see how much I can squeak in before he stops stomping, or before he starts stomping laps around the table again. So my list of stuff that has to be done during the week and my calendar for the week. Especially just with all the kids, having the calendar during the week keeps this from getting ridiculously messy with things that change, things that, you know, we do at the last minute. It's summer break, so it's just, sometimes I just need to see this week. And if I have everything for every kid that they do on this, it becomes illegible really quickly. So that's what my weekly calendar is for. And then what I would normally do is I'd either do a page per day and then go to the second week and make my weekly chart and my weekly calendar and then a page per day. Instead of doing that, I just did my list for the week, my schedule for the week, and then I left, like, I think it was 5 blank facing out sections. Okay, I left 5 blank spreads in between each week so I could just do whatever I wanted. Generally, if I'm in a journal, I'm like, my brain doing what it does, like, oh, I have to do that in a separate book. If I feel like doodling or, you know, making notes for a video, oh, that all has to be done in a separate book. Like, everything has to be in its own little book. And if I want to get everything down to where I can carry it, because I can't tell you guys, with summer break coming, and I don't know if it was just because I was starting to get sick and I didn't quite realize it yet, but I was in such a rut. I mean, a really bad rut. And when I get in a rut like that, just writing and doodling really, really pulls me out of it very quickly. So I'd been doing a lot more writing. I've been doing a lot more kind of, I can't say I draw because that makes it sound like it looks decent. Like I may know what it was, but nobody else would be able to tell. But it just, I find it relaxing. So I had a separate journal for that. And I had put a notebook back in here that was a grid notebook, just like these from Chic Sparrow. And I took that out because I wasn't doing any writing in it. I do have a blank insert coming from Chic Sparrow. I have one in the pocket size, but I ordered one in the personal because I would still I'd like to do some watercoloring and I want to keep it all in one book. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put that in here or not. I don't know if that breaks the rules, so to speak, because I'm adding an insert in here that I didn't have to begin with. But I didn't want to do watercolor on the grid paper. There's no reason you couldn't, that's just me. So I don't know, I'm gonna see, that should be here like tomorrow or the day after and I'll decide then. But I took out that last notebook completely. So I didn't feel the need to be writing in that because I was doing a lot of, especially when I got sick, I couldn't think enough to write, but I could doodle. So I had put, like here was all the bullet journaling for the week. You can tell Saturday was the 4th. I didn't really write anything down. I was so sick and we still went out of town. I was determined to get out of town for a day. Just some quotes that I had found. I think most of them were from Pinterest. I flagged this with a brown post-it page flag because either brown or yellow, depending on what I'm doing, yellow tends to be Clayton's color when I'm on the monthly chart and I'm just color coding stuff for the boys. Like I said, I don't color stuff for the boys like in my daily stuff, but here I can get away with it. So yellow is Clayton's color. So I tend to use brown when I'm marking what's your why not stuff in my own book. So that's why I flagged that because there were a couple quotes over here that I wanted to write some things about what's your why not. Just a little bit of doodling. And then here were the notes actually for this video, so I'm going to have to take a look at that while we're recording, make sure I don't miss anything. My list of stuff for our little trip out of town, and then I'm actually reading both of these books, so I saw this in Wired magazine and it cracked me up because I have both of those to read. So I stuck that in there. See, this is normally stuff I would cut this out if I even had the magazine in print. It's just when I happen to have in print. I honestly do my magazines digitally when I even do them. I hate to go through streaks for months where I don't read any magazines at all, but I love Wired, I love Discover, I love Fast Company, I love Scientific American. So I had a Wired magazine and this just happened to be in there. This I would normally stick into another book, or I would fold it and I'd put it into like one of my pocket size notebooks, like a field note size, and I wouldn't see it for months. I would forget it was there, and here I'm going to have it with me for the whole month. And I've found myself, that's one thing that this different setup has really taught me so far, at least this year, is having all that stuff that I just stuck in here right in front of me and not tucked away in another book keeps it not so much in my mind, but it just kind of keeps it within my realm of focus or attention, if that makes any sense. So like the quotes that I had found that I wanted to write some things about for a What's Your Why Not video, I've been kind of letting those marinate all week, and especially I got sick, so I haven't been doing a whole lot of moving around and whatnot. Had I written these down in another notebook and tucked it away like I was doing before, I would have forgotten about them already, to be perfectly honest with you. But every time I get in here to write something, I see my little flags and that reminds me, you know? So it's still not sitting in my brain. I still got it out of my head and got it onto paper, but it's still within my kind of realm of focus or realm of attention because it's still kind of right here where it's accessible. It's not tucked away in a cabinet somewhere until I find a bunch more quotes that I want to write down, and then I dig that notebook out, write them down, put it away, and don't look at it again for a month. So I really like these kind of blank open pages for being able to just doodle or journal or whatever the heck I want to do for the month. And then this was a store that I went into up in Madison when we went on the 4th. They had a bunch of different empty washi tapes. These are just 3 of the ones I got. I go through streaks. I haven't bought washi tape in months and months, you guys, but these were so cute I couldn't pass them up. And this is just a font that I copied from a picture. Actually, if you go to Pinterest, if you follow me on Pinterest, I have a board called Font Crush. I have this obsession with fonts. I don't know why, I always have. So I really liked this one, so I copied it. And it was actually font pairings, so I still want to doodle in the paired font that went with this. And I didn't print that one out. I need to get more printer ink. So I was copying this like off the picture on my phone, or off the iPad. So I'm gonna put the other font down in here. But this was just because I was sick. I felt so crummy and I was just sitting in one spot. And then here were more, like I said, I have an obsession with fonts. So here are a whole bunch more that I printed out. These are also pinned to my Font Crush board on Pinterest. And then here is this week. I haven't filled in my class stuff up here yet. It would normally be underneath that post-it note because I have to figure out how I'm going to get caught up. I am about a week and a half behind now because I was so sick. I should have known when I was in that rut it was coming. So I haven't figured out exactly what all I'm going to kind of pull out of that for this week to get done. I need to pull out the most important stuff, get that done first, and then kind of backtrack, if that makes any sense. So I need to figure that out, how I'm going to do that. This is the rest of the stuff that needs to be done at some point this week. Here's our schedule for this week. And like this one today, you know, Clayton at Key Club. So what I'll do is pull that up. I may have even written 2 of those up. Yeah, I did. So this one can come off of here. It's every Tuesday, and I will just move it forward to here, and then I have it. And I had written 2 of them out when I set this up previously. I had these in my June calendar too, so I just moved them forward to this one. What else? I think that is pretty much it, you guys. Let me look at my notes real quick. Oh, and then this was just project pages. You guys have seen that. I did add kind of my big list in here. It's become projects and lists. So some of it is just like I showed you before. This is just the big list of stuff that I need to get to at some point. This is, like I showed you in my first video, stuff that I've read this year and stuff that I have sitting in the Amazon account. Thank God most of it was free, but I've downloaded it and I haven't read it, or I haven't finished it because I got, you know, ooh, squirrel, distracted by something else. And then that last notebook is gone. Now let me look at my notes because seriously, you guys, I cannot see yet with these glasses on. Oh, time tracking. I almost forgot to tell you guys about that. Usually you guys saw for the longest time my daily pages had some sort of time tracking on them. I do still put it in occasionally if I know there's especially a day I'm gonna want to look back on and see something was different, something was out of the realm of what our normal routine is. I will throw like I'll paste on an LM Hyperdex and fill it in. I have been using an app on my phone called Toggl, T-O-G-G-L, to do my time tracking. It really helps for tracking work stuff because you can mark it whether it's the client is billable or non-billable and how much you're billing them per hour, and it's done. You get, you know, reports when you do, like at the end of the week, if you want to see where your time went that week or all of your billable things. For clients, there's a mosquito harassing me. That's really easily done. So that is what I've been doing for time tracking, which is why you're not seeing a whole lot of it in here, and compile with that for like 6 days I've been sick. There just hasn't been a whole lot to track, you guys. Let me see, using the Boo Black. Extended notes section within each week equals a happy face because it makes me happy. I really, really like having these blank spreads to work with. I did number my pages. I went through and numbered all the pages in here for indexing. I, of course, did not leave a blank page in the front for indexing. However, this post-it note is going to be coming off of here. And going into my August booklet, blah, 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 blah. I talk the English good, you guys. So this post-it will be coming away. I did add these green post-its just for some bill reminders. If I felt I needed them, I just slapped a couple in there. I want to have everything that I need in one spot. So those were some post-its I hadn't stuck anywhere else. I could index on here once I take this post-it off, but I'm going to need this post-it through the end of the summer. And I don't know if this is going to be enough room. So I'm thinking what I'll probably do is, because I think I had one extra. Yeah, this was my last blank spread, and the month ends August 1st is a Saturday. So if I switch over, which I doubt I will because it's only 2 days, but I have enough blank pages in here that this last one I could use for an index as well, and even tip in a page if I needed more room. So I numbered my pages so I could index them. I can't believe I didn't leave a blank page in the beginning. I always leave this page blank, always. A lot of times I'll leave that page and the first spread blank even, and I won't start anything until I get to this page. I like the second full spread in. I don't know why I didn't do that this time. I just didn't, so I'll probably do the index in the back and just throw a little post-it note on there so I know. Oh, and I had written that I was still color coding the yearly chart, but I decided I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave the yearly chart alone until the month is over. The last thing I was going to tell you, and I didn't bring it with me, I'll have to try to remember to grab it for the next video. The whole one pen thing. Clayton has this Lamy ballpoint pen that he found. It's like brushed stainless steel. It's a beautiful pen, and he really wanted it. He wasn't sure if he was going to like it because he's definitely a rollerball kid. He doesn't necessarily like a ballpoint pen. Every refill we've been able to find for this Lamy has been a ballpoint, and he left it on my desk one night, and I texted Romany and Vicky, and I'm like, Clayton left. Look what Clayton left on my desk. And I showed him a picture. I should have grabbed it. I don't dare walk away now because I'll never get this done because somebody's really wound up. I said, I think he's trying to tempt me. He knows One Book July started, and he knows this is the only pen I'm using. So he's leaving this gorgeous brushed stainless steel Lambie on my desk just to mess with me because he's a punk. And when he got up that day, I'm like, hey, here, you left your pen on my desk, which is not like him, man. He guards his pens with his life. And he goes, oh no, I decided I didn't like the ballpoint after all. I was gonna give it to you. I'm like, you know I can't use it right now. It's One Book July. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he turned around and walked away. Ah! So I did order, he had a medium, I think it was a medium blue ink refill in there. I did order a fine point black for it. And that's gonna be my reward for sticking to my one pen. Is I can use the Lambie next month. So that is pretty much it, you guys. Not a whole lot has changed, but I will tell you what, I'm really, really happy with just the blank spreads in the middle. I am doodling more. Like I said, not a whole lot to show for it this week because I've just been so sick, but there's something about knowing I have the space there to do it and I don't have it in 4 separate books. Don't bang it. That is really nice. And Liam is now banging the spoon that he was playing in the water on the glass table. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Please keep letting us know how it's going. It has been fantastic to watch all you guys' videos and hear what you think and see what you're learning and see what you can't stand and see what's driving you crazy and see what you're enjoying and learning. So keep it up. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go so you don't have to listen to the banging. I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Thanks so much. Bye-bye.